Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Education, what evidence does she have that the government's Investing in Educational Success programme, which removes teachers and principals from their classrooms for 2 days a week, is the best way to spend over $359 million in order to raise student achievement?
Honourable Hipkins.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Evidence from New Zealand and around the world informed the government's Investing in Educational Success initiative. To save the House time, I would refer the member back to my response to question 7 from that member on 10 April this year and my subsequent responses to his repeated questions on the same subject. I suggest the member spend time reading it as opposed to the other activities the member might be spending his time less constructively on.
Order.
In New Zealand...
That answer is complete. Supplementary question. Order. Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Did she read the Treasury commissioned working paper that found that smaller class sizes were associated with more completed education as of age 21, lower incidence of unemployment and shorter durations of unemployment for those that did experience it? If so, why did she instead choose to pay just 2% of teachers more rather than lowering class sizes?
Honourable Hipkins, either of those questions.
Mr Speaker, I didn't read that, although I did read the Sunday Star Times. Mr Speaker, Professor Hattie in his response has talked about, quote, certainly reducing class sizes by 2 or 3, you won't see the difference at all. This has been tried in many, many countries and quite frankly, it's not going to make a difference at all, close quote. However, can I also remind the member that in the period 1998 to 2002, teacher numbers went up 20% while student numbers went up 5%, and yet achievement flatlined under that former administration. Under our government, teacher numbers have gone up 15% while student numbers have gone up 0.7%, and achievement has grown. So it's not either or to that member, it's how you both invest in the number of teachers and the quality of their teaching practice. That's what this government is doing.
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question. Order. Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Which of the following factors does she believe will be enhanced by the national government's policy of bigger class sizes? Teacher one-to-one time with each student, a teacher's ability to manage student behaviour, reciprocal teaching, feedback between teachers and students, and teacher professional development, all of which rank higher on John Hattie's meta-study that she just quoted than many of failed government policies like charter schools and constant test-taking.
Honourable Hipkins.
Mr Speaker, the member is quite wrong. That is not our policy. Our policy is about an additional $359 million invest in quality teaching and leadership time. It is based on research from around the world. Indeed, the member is well aware that in many collective agreement negotiations, unions that support the member's party have argued for exactly this. And what we are doing is recognising the education profession. We're proposing that 1,000 teachers be recognised for their expertise. That is 1 in 50 teachers across the country, 5,000 lead teachers who will remain in their classrooms and continue to spread their expertise. It's based not only on research but on actual practice here in New Zealand.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
What specific research can she point to that proves that the removal of a primary school teacher from their classroom for 2 out of 5 days in the week, every week, will not impact on the achievement of their students?
Mr Speaker,
Honourable Hipkins.
the 4.5 million release time hours we already provide to schools every year. They develop their professional practice, they develop their expertise, and they come back into their classrooms better off as a result. 4.5 million hours of teacher release time.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Has she seen the report from the National Education Policy Centre in the US that found that, quote, research supports the common sense notion that children learn more and teachers are more effective in smaller class sizes, end quote? If so, why does she continue to argue that paying 2% of teachers more is a better way of raising achievement for all students?
Mr Speaker, I haven't seen that particular piece of research, but they also commented, by the way, on partnership schools. Well, you have more familiarity with the Sunday Star Times, Mr Hipkins, than I do. What we do know is that unless the quality of the teaching improves, it doesn't have an effect. And so we are doing both. We have both increased the number of teachers and are increasing our investment in the quality of their teaching practice. We have, by 15% of the member was listening, 15% in the last 5 years, while student numbers have gone up 0.7%. Perhaps, Mr Speaker, the member might like to use another supplementary rather than barracking instead of listening to my answers, which is so helpful.
Order, and that'll be over to the member to determine. Question number 11, Paul Foster-Bell.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker.
Tēnā koe.